After recently building my new dream gaming PC with an RTX 5090 and deleted with liquid metal Ryzen 9 9800X3D, I could finally switch my main monitor from the older ASUS PG-348Q, which I've been running for close to 7 years now. Those old monitors, they were slightly curved, top of the line, 3440 by 1440p at 100 Hz with a native G-Sync module monitors, the best at the time. And I remember the first time I got it, I had a GTX 1080 Ti and I wasn't even able to power the 100 Hz on most games because the GPU was too weak. I was finally able to pretty much run it how it should with a 2080 Ti, but I was only able to properly max it out with a 3090. However, it's a very old monitor with quite a bit of latency, which was meant mostly for productivity and single player games. But I have a past as a competitive gamer and I really like playing esports. I still play Apex and Call of Duty semi-competitive, bit of ranked. So I figured I'd make the switch and grab myself an OLED 240 Hz panel. However, while looking among the tens of options out there, I stumbled across something very interesting. The Gigabyte MO34WQC2. Now this one is a 34-inch 3440 by 1440p monitor with 240 Hz QD-OLED, so the same panel used in a lot of higher-end monitors, ASUS as well. But that's not why I bought it, because again, lots of panels have those specs. The reason why I bought it is because it was listed to have dual mode. Now, what is dual mode? Basically, it's the ability to switch your screen to a different resolution via a simple click. This would effectively make a 34-inch monitor, which is perfect for editing, photo editing, working, multitasking, and it's what I use it for 90% of the time. It would also make it perfect for gaming, because for gaming, the best is 27-inch or 24-inch 16:9, 1440p or 1080p high refresh rate. Now, ASUS has done that perfectly, and LG too. They have some dual mode monitors in which if you switch, you actually increase the refresh rate. ASUS has a monitor, 32-inch 4K, you press a button, it becomes 32-inch 480 Hz instead of 240. It doubles the refresh rate by basically dividing the resolution. That's crazy. Now here, the only thing they promised me is this thing would downscale the image, make it 27-inch, leave me with 240 Hz, and I was super happy with it. I thought they're just gonna cut some pixels and it's gonna be perfect, right? That's the reason why I bought this monitor. Now I was able to buy it on Amazon warehouse and I paid very little for it. I paid just 680 bucks for the monitor, which is an absolute steal. Now it came in the mail with a bit of damaged packaging. I did not record the unboxing because it was a mess and because honestly I thought I'm just gonna make a video later about this monitor. I wanna test it out, and the monitor itself doesn't look the best, doesn't look as high-end as ROG Strix monitors or LG lineup. It has a very much dark look, bit of aggressive but not really gamer-ish, not the best. Comes in with all the cabling, that's perfectly fine. It has a single cable to plug directly into the wall, no adapters, that's nice. Comes with a DisplayPort 2.1 HDMI and it is FreeSync compatible. So I just went ahead, set it up and was actually very happy. The difference going from an older panel in the ASUS, which again, 1000 bucks monitor, to a new monitor is massive. OLEDs are just so much better. I tried gaming on it, a lot better, smoother, less input lag. It was just faster, 240 Hz, it felt great. However, I felt the missing G-Sync. Now, I think you need an adaptive sync technology on your monitor. Of course, if I was running an AMD GPU, I could have just do with the FreeSync, but I am unfortunately running NVIDIA. So that's the first problem, but I wasn't gonna let that stop me. However, I noticed the characters on the screen, they weren't easy to read. Now, if you know a thing or two about OLEDs, about the way they work, they basically have to put a level behind the text to make it readable because of the way pixel works. In OLED, the pixel is actually a real light which can turn off. It's a lot of little lights which light up. Okay, I'm explaining it terribly, but you got the point. They have to do something about the writing. And here it wasn't done so well. However, what really disappointed me is I went ahead and I tried the dual mode. And the dual mode is stretched. It's completely unplayable. It's not really 1440p 27-inch because they emulate the pixels. and the aspect ratio is not the same, which means the image gets all stretched. You cannot play competitive on it. Well, you can, but it feels like playing on a stretched resolution like we used to do in the older 16:10 monitors, and it's just a really bad experience. I actually had more difficulty aiming there than I did with the full screen, even in Apex, even after trying it for some days. All in all, for a monitor which basically is the same as the competition, I'm talking about the LG competitions, and there is like a lot of competitors on the mid-range for this kind of panel, ultra-wide 21:9 panel. The major selling point here basically is the dual mode. It's the only one that has it, and it's also one of the few without G-Syncs. So with that said, after having the monitor for about 2 months, even though the panel is really good, and even though I can recommend you go ahead and buy from an Amazon warehouse because you get the best deals there, this is just a bad monitor because it doesn't look too good. The OSD is pretty complicated. It doesn't have G-Sync. The dual mode doesn't work. And it has a great panel, which means you can just buy a different monitor with a great panel, pay it less, and have it better looking. So I don't recommend you guys go out and buy this monitor. That's the problem with trying things like these. You know, sometimes I come here on the channel very excited, just telling you guys I found the next best deal. Sometimes I just buy something that's not very good, but hey, I'm gonna sell it, swap it out, take a little loss, and get a better monitor with G-Sync to replace it. So with that said, do let me know which monitor you would get, and do let me know if you guys had experience with dual mode and if you have a monitor which works well for both competitive gaming and professional usage. And if you watched the video this far, maybe drop a like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.